Hello, welcome to a special episode of MTG Arena Run. Today we're going to take a look at another way to do the merfolk deck. Basically, it will be less emphasis on merfolk, but it will give us more counter spells, some more ways to control stuff. Will also an added bonus. I will include the video I did on Instaban. I was not playing merfolk, but I think every deck I ran into was merfolk, so I guess that kind of counts. Also, that was kind of the gameplay that persuaded me to make this one the next deck. But first things first. Okay, I really need to change the hotkey for the pause. But yeah, first things first. A quick update. Many thanks to Cryolit for bringing this one up. Bringing this up. There is a land called Unclaimed Territory. It is very perfect for this deck because our deck is mostly one creature type. Actually, no, it's not even mostly. It's literally just one creature type that matters. So I'm definitely gonna put at least 3 copies of that in. I'm thinking that, well, I guess you could cut out the arch, add the 4th copy, but you know what? Let's just go all in 4 copies. It is virtually a dual land at this point. It doesn't work for stuff like Blink of an Eye, Hadana's Climb, Rabbit Bite, but that's a 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, there's also doesn't work for Sleep. That's only 9 cards per se. So, and they help, but they're not that instrumental. Also, take note, our sideboard is creature, creature, creature. So it's kind of it's half creatures anyway. So it still benefits. Actually, that's it. I just talked myself out of putting all 4 copies in. So even then, I will set our lands to like 8 and 5 for this mix-up. So let's see how this one works. Yep, unsaved changes. Still works perfectly fine. It really only hurts the blue a little bit. More precisely, it hurts the double blue, and it only hurts the double blue for sleep. It's perfectly okay everywhere else. It is a big benefit for Kumena Speaker. If we bring in the Jade Bearers, it's a big benefit as well. It also helps the double green of Swift Warden. So many thanks for correcting that oversight, dude. So enough talk. Now So enough talk about that one. Let's proceed with the gameplay.
Hello and
After
welcome
that,
to
we'll be right back.
bonus episode of
Take a
MTG
look at
Arena Run.
Actually, this one was completely unplanned. I figured I would not have the time to do this. I wasn't exactly out all day, but I was out this evening. Then I noticed, oh wait, there's like about 15 minutes left. So I quickly piled up a deck. I'll talk about the deck as I go along because there's only 5 minutes left in the sign up. I would have theoretically about 2 hours left 3 hours left. So, interesting to note, Auras of Majesty is ready to go, but I made 2 decks for this one. I'm probably gonna go with the no instant Celestia because that is the one that I have a quest for. Actually, it's kind of for green, but it's anyway white and green. So I'll talk about the deck as I go along, but the idea is this one takes a bit of advantage of the convoke mechanics. So there are a bunch of early creatures, hopefully to play out a few late game creatures. My removals gonna take advantage of fight as my main removal, since most of the good fight cards are sorcery speed anyway. There are a few sets of removal spells in white. Unfortunately, I do not have a copy of Cleansing Nova. And I kind of want to play these guys because your opponent has to play removal on them. You will get something out of it anyway, so at least I'm not completely shut out. And that is my reasoning at the very least. And that was really fast. I don't understand what happened. Probably just a disconnect. So let's not assume too much in that. I did hear reports of people complaining that, oh my gosh, this format's flooded with merfolk decks. No pun intended. Well, okay, the pun was not intentional, but it came out that way. So everyone's concerned that, oh my gosh, there's gonna be so many merfolk decks that they... Okay, I might end up scaring another person, but I'm gonna keep this one first. So, it's also possible our opponent might have misclicked and kept a really bad hand. Oh, so anyway, turn 1, Llanowar Elves. We're gonna do turn 2, Lieutenant. I'm assuming he has... Okay, this is a bona fide merfolk deck. We'll go for the Torn Lieutenant. And we'll offer the trade. There's no point trying to surprise him. It's not like I got any instants in this deck. So at least this one blocks any 2-drops all day. If he tries to drop something special, I might just Rabbit Bite it away anyway. So enters tapped. So combat. Yeah, just attack with that one. That surprised me there. I'm probably gonna hold on to the Sprouting Renewal because he probably does have enchantments. And I'm going to just Rabbit. I'm gonna just Rabbit Bite this out. Rabbit Bite this one now. Sure, he might have the 2, but in theory, he probably would have played it by now. He probably is playing a 3-drop instead. Got the Cremena. Play that tap. Okay, so Talons of Wildwood will do something. I'm probably gonna just play the Kinjali Sunwing instead. At least that way, any future merfolk will come into play tapped. I could convoke something, but not worth it, so I'm past the turn. I'm actually gonna try to raise to 6 mana. Well, also for Carnage Tyrant. One is doing manual tapping. Beast Whisper. Ooh, I actually forgot I had that card. So thankfully, I didn't realize that was a combo. And with that out of the way, let's just buff Kinjali Sunwing. This is pretty much my best bet on getting true. So at least got rid of the card draw engine, but now we need mana. I do have some copies of Siege Worm. I did said there's a bit of a convoke engine here. Night Ranger. Okay, he's got his own Sprouting Renewal. He's probably gonna nuke the well, Talents is a poor thing to nuke. You could just buy it again, and even have the mana to do that. But he is gonna buff Jade Light Ranger, and hope I do not. Wait, no, he doesn't have Take Vengeance. He's probably looking for a Rabbit Bite. Doesn't have it, so we're at 5 mana now. Let's attack anyway. So I could just make a Knight right now. Yeah, at least if I make a Knight, I could aim for the double block. I'm concerned he might have some super big enchantment I want to remove. You know what? I'll wait. I can afford to take at least 1 or 2 hits. And the nice thing about this format is, sure, it prevents you from having instants or cards with flash. It doesn't prevent you from activating things at instant speed. It's not a surprise. It's an onboard trick. But it's still a reasonable trick at that. I actually had Blanchwood Armor and a bunch of other cards. Just wondering what... So he could actually just tap this to make this unblockable and draw a card. He's probably just going to swing for 4. He's going to wonder if I'm going to risk sending these 2 to their deaths. Okay, he's actually not going to take that risk. He's just going to hit 2, draw a card. He's probably aiming for more gas. Considering... he's out. Okay, we got another Sprouting Renewal. 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, I could tap these to make another 2-drop. And I probably will. Because doesn't matter which I tap. Because that means our opponent has to hold these back unless he has a way to untap all his guys again. Not impossible. Wait, no, I take it back. Most of those are instant speed. Yeah, it's kind of impossible. Could tap something. Yeah, he's gonna tap that down. So now I got 2, 4, 6 points I can swing. But he has to hold guys back, to be honest. He's gonna swing with... Oh, he's not. He's going for cards. No blocks. He might... He could play another creature, but they'll come into play tapped if ever. He's probably digging for lands. Let's see what he's got. Another Water Trap Weaver. I think that's a reasonable idea, but that's still 6 power. And now I have no reason to oh wait, Seafloor Oracle can block. So I could swing with these guys, he'll take some damage. No, let's cast this first. Yes. So he's not out of the woods yet. But I can try to bring... I have to decide if I want to try to bring him down to lethal now, or if I want to wait it out. I'm gonna try to go for... Because I'm gonna try to deal damage now, because it... Okay, 3 attacks. Because I'll have 1 blocker at least. He's definitely gonna block one of the 2/2s. He'll go down to 3, which makes Kinjali Sunwing lethal. I have 2 blockers. One of them he can't mess with. And it's now all on him. Let's see if he has anything. Actually, it's possible... Okay. That means he doesn't have Reverse Rebuke. Or he does have a land... Yeah, Reverse Rebuke is something I should have considered. Actually, it doesn't matter. If he had Reverse Rebuke, I'm gone anyway. So Merfolk Mistbinder, that buffs everyone, so this is potentially lethal, so I'm forced to block these 2. Shadowborn Pioneer comes into play tap. That token comes into play tap too. So if he swings with all of them, I just block these 2. I go down to 9. If he makes this unblockable, that's 1 less. Yeah, Kinjali Sunwing wrecks the math. If they came into play untapped, I would be dead already. So yeah, I'm quite happy. I'm actually playing Selesnya. I originally had the Golgari deck set up with basically the same thing, but I had Poison Tip Archers. Those would have really worked very well with Rabbit Bite. But I kind of wanted to try something different. And not to mention I had Shalai, which is a very good way to protect your stuff. As well as, let's see, what else did I have? Yeah, Flower Flourish, good way to dig for stuff. Take Vengeance, decent removal at sorcery speed. So I can get Shalai at 4, so I'm gonna go keep this hand. No, turn 3. Math is hard, it's very late. And I still have to prepare what the next deck is. I might actually make the next deck to be about Merfolk. And the reasoning behind that is quite simple. Everyone's talking about Merfolk here. In fact, the spotlight is kind of on the Merfolk decks in this format. And I don't blame them. And well, you know, it's named Merfolk. But you know what else I have for this? Rabbit Bite. So I can get turn 3 Shalai, maybe... Wait, turn 3 Shalai. It'll take me a while to... At least I protect this one, but... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... just need to so this one's a little bit different in that this one has no intention of interacting at all. So I'm back to back was kind of interesting. So I now have to race against these guys. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can sprouting renewal. No, I can't. I can talents first. Put it on something. Then sprouting put it on something. Then sprouting renewal tapping. Yeah, sure. That's probably the plan. So talents first. Then sprouting renewal. Tapping for convoke. Then I'm gonna send this to attack. I can't lock these anyway, no matter how much they pump it, so it doesn't matter. I just have to worry about locking this one. This is still gonna be scary because I'm gonna be taking. Okay, 5 to 7. Okay, looks. No, I'm gonna be taking a lot of damage here. So that's 5, 7, 9. Ooh. He's going all out. So I have no choice but to take this. Now I just have to hope that this is okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can tap this for Siege Worm. I just played the land, so that doesn't matter. This doesn't have. I can give my guys +2/+2, but that only means. Okay, let's do the math here. 2, 4. Okay, I'm taking 3 damage guaranteed, so I'm down to 4. I need to leave enough blockers to eliminate these guys. If he has another one, it doesn't matter. I won't have the blockers. I still have to attack anyway. No point pumping these guys. I need to leave these 2 behind. So that said, I am gonna play the Siege Worm first. So sorry for taking so long. Oh shoot, I need to tap 2. Okay, this is worse than I thought. Okay, I'll tap this one as well. So no attacks. So this is basically me trying to set up a big turn, but I don't think I'm gonna win this one. Nope. Wait. Huh? Oh wait, he can't. Wait, so 5. I still die anyway, but let's do the. Yeah, I still die anyway because there's not 3, 5, 6. Yeah. There isn't enough. It was worth a shot. Yeah, he wasn't able to target me, so I still had some blocks, but I did not have enough beef. So 1 loss, but we did get 2. Okay, honestly, we got 1 win. The other win was a freebie, so that. So okay. Well, it is what it is. I actually think the concession happened before I even played that forest. I don't. And to be fair, I had no intention. So that said, let's see. This is a really bad hand. We got no action. We got no action until turn 3. Flower doesn't count. I'm definitely mulling this. This one's better. We got action on turn 2. And I guess I can keep the talons. Yeah, I can keep the talons. I'm at a bit of a disadvantage. And what do you know? Another merfolk deck. So it looks like merfolk is the flavor of the month here, and I'm gonna take it as a sign. This coming week it's gonna be. Actually, I won't say it this coming week. You're probably going to see this video much later. So that said, I'm going to have to conclave Guild Mage. I'm gonna have to keep this guy alive. In fact, the first thing I'm gonna nuke is his River Sneak, not the. Actually, that's curious. He could have played River Sneak first, considering, and the Silver Guild Adept would pump it. But now he's just drawing cards and he's not playing the River Sneak at all. So I'm gonna take the 2 damage, no blocks. I'm still going to. Okay, it's a bit of a shame that I need 1 more white mana. But now I can afford to block these guys at least, so pass the turn. No point. Already has trample, no point making it even more tramply. So, yep, that's my target. I will take 6. I kinda have to. And don't have white mana yet. So right now I'm just taking a big beating. So pass the turn. So right now I just need 1 more mana just for a Carnage Tyrant, and to start making tokens. So now he plays the River Sneak. Can't do anything about that. So let's hope I can race him with this one. Doesn't untap, so I'm gonna take another 4. No. That's just. What the heck? You're going to tap it down anyway. Hey, what? Yeah, there you go. So I don't get to untap with it. I hope to have 1 more white mana, so at least I can dump this guy. It's basically cannon fodder at this point. Tender Shoot Rand's acceptable. But I'm probably gonna lose this game at this point. I'm definitely at the defensive. 1 more mana would help me here. Actually help me in both counts. But I would say that Merfolk is a very good choice. Okay. Yeah, that's a good game. No point. You know what? Work for it. But yeah, it's a good game at that point. I got nothing. So yeah, Merfolk is explosive in this format. But we now have to ask ourselves the question: does this hold true for actual real constructed? No, not real constructed. Does it hold true for standard format without that limitation? So yeah, we got our 1 win and 2 losses. This is really just a bonus episode, so it's no biggie. So let's claim our prize. Oh, rares. I'll accept to remind me of my deck, to remind me of my opponent's deck. I'll accept. We're not ready to get there yet. I actually forgot why the land mix-up was when the land was a bit mixed up. I forgot I actually put Evolving Wilds in here. So that we're definitely cutting those out. We're going to max out the unclaimed territory to 4 at this point, and we'll bump the forest and the island 1 each. And yeah, that is a bit better in that sense. I guess you could play with the forest count. Maybe if you 1 forest shy, one more mountain, 1 more island. But remember, we have a good number of green spells on the sideboard. So okay, that change is not done just yet. And now let's actually proceed to deck proper. So start things off. We'll start from scratch as always. Build a new deck. Let's do the mana base correctly this time. So 4 copies Hinterland Harbor. I'm gonna be so happy when Breeding Pool becomes standard legal next year. So unclaimed territory. This time I really will stick with 3 copies. One thing to note is that we're going to try to make this more around control, so there will be more spells. So unclaimed territory. Definitely the Arch. And definitely, let's start with forest. But we'll definitely be playing more islands because we will be playing more with counterspells here. That doesn't mean we won't benefit from having forests here. I think that should. We'll start with a little more island than forest, but not too many for now. And first things first, let's group it up and let's set the format to standard. So first things first, let's figure out what are the control elements we want. We definitely want the sweeper at the top end, so we're gonna have at least 2 copies of River's Rebuke. For merfolk, we actually want to add another all-star. This one actually came from the blue-red deck, but it's perfect at uncommon, Salvager of Secrets. Not quite mission briefing, but it does fit in the merfolk team. It also helps that's actually a merfolk as well. So, and our other control, then basically part of our control elements is making sure we control how our opponent removes our stuff. So, we'll actually add Swift Warden here. Perfect as it has flash. So definitely at least 2 to 3, 2 copies of it in here for now. 3rd copy in the sideboard. Basically, we adjust based on how much removal we see our opponent have. We're gonna play Deep-Root Waters as well. Now, this might seem a bit strange. Why are we going to put a card that depends on us casting Merfolk if we're not gonna play that much Merfolk? Well, it's not so much about we don't need to generate all the Merfolk. You see a lot of people, they show gameplay videos. Their side of the board is all swarmed up with tokens. You don't need to play all the Merfolk. You just need to generate enough to actually win. So it's more of it's more precision rather than en masse. So I still would put this at 2 copies. 3rd one on maybe. And because we're not depending too much on Merfolk, we'll actually be mainboarding Deep-Root Champions instead. 2 copies of that. Also, Merfolk Mistbinder, this time we'll only play around with... We're only going to play with 3 copies this time instead of 4. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to use Forerunner of the Herald as our precision target. Basically, what we do is we use this guy to get what we need. Sure, it's expensive at 4, so we will need a way to ramp up. And I think 4 copies might be too many in itself. In ways, Forerunner of the Legion was better because it cost only 3. Forerunner of the Coalition was better because it cost only 3. Forerunner of the Empire was good because it actually did stuff to your opponent's side of the board. So, in that case, we also want... So we're also going to look for our singletons. Kumena's definitely in a singleton here. So we have ways to generate, but we're not working with too many merfolk per se. So So let's take a look. Oh yeah, Water Trap Weaver is also our... Water Trap Weaver would be our go-to control element. Basically, it helps control creatures. We just need 3 of them. But we will... And as for the Tempest guy, because we're going to try to tutor for him when we actually need him, Tempest Caller, just 1 copy. Same with Seafloor Oracle, just 1 copy as well. So as you see, we're going to be cutting down on cards. We're going to be cutting down on cards like River Sneak, Kumena's Speakers, Jade Bearers. It's not about generating too much aggro, but it's about generating enough aggro and maintaining your side of the board. That said, I'm going to go with the 1-2 punch of Syncopate for control. 3 copies, maybe a 4th on this, definitely a 4th on the sideboard. Syncopate and Sinister Sabotage. Kind of miss Disallow, but actually, in ways I don't miss Disallow either. So 3 copies of Sinister Sabotage, maybe maybe just 2 and 2. I think 5 counter spells. Swift Wardens act as a virtual counter spell of sorts. we're still trying to create the illusion that we are a merfolk deck, make our opponent side in a lot of stuff, then we start siding out things. And since we're going that route, we side in different kinds of fish, like Nezahal's a good side in. We're not sliding in Slin Voda because 10 mana just for the kick for him and the kicker effect, too expensive. So we still have 9 slots. We want to kind of miss different hexproof spells. Also want to do a creature count check, but because we're aiming for control, we want to be able to generate card advantage. Now, Cryolit made a suggestion that if one way to generate okay, definitely Merfolk Tricksters will come in the sideboard. I guess I could mainboard these guys. Actually, I could mainboard these guys. These are very good surprise blockers that can nuke stuff from the air. So I'll put 3 of them in here. I'm also gonna put a playset of Merfolk, about 2 Merfolk Branch Walkers. Actually, in that case, I will move 1 Trickster to this. Maybe I'll move all the Tricksters to the side for now. Double blue is a bit taxing for the mana, even with what we're running. So we run the Merfolk Branch Walkers to help smooth out our land draws, and it's still a decent tree too. Though in this case we will be running it more as a... We could run it aggro, but we probably will run it as a wall as well. So definitely need blink. So one thing to be concerned is that our base is mostly going to be blue for all our removal. We don't have much in the way of green removal. I'm not going to side in Rabid Bite because we don't have that many creatures this time. We definitely will side in some form of mana acceleration. Actually, there is... Okay, so here's one thing to consider. Turn 3, we have Gift of Paradise. This access acceleration gives us a life buffer. Alternately, speaking of Paradise... Wait, no... Let's see if I can remember the name of that land, that enchantment. There's an aura that that did the same thing, except instead of giving you 3 life, instead of giving you 3 life, what it did was it gave you a +1/+1 counter on one of your creatures. Not give... New Horizons, there you go. Now this would kind of do the same thing, except it would be a good way to buff our way through its... Well, we're not running the guide that makes our creatures unblockable, so this actually becomes a moot point. Do I want to run Gift of Paradise as acceleration, or do I want to run... Well, Urban Utopia, it's not acceleration, but it does cycle. It helps us with our mana base a bit somewhat. I might actually prefer to have a different... non-creature spell here. So let's first kill the filter. Yeah, probably want to just put in Treasure Map. I guess we can do the Treasure Map Thaumatic Compass combo here. Because if you think of it, I don't want to play Deep-Root Champion until I can get the benefit from it. And I don't want to play Merfolk Mistbinder blankly into a board also. This actually might move the Merfolk Branch Walkers into the sideboard. So what will happen is our sideboard comes in here if we need more Merfolk. As it is, we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Still 15 Merfolk. Still perfectly respectable, but not too overpowered. Definitely. So I'm going to go ahead with Treasure Map and Thaumatic Compass as my two drops. I'm not gonna run Hadana's Climb because, well, actually Hadana's Climb might be okay here, but we want to be able to control. I guess this is where we actually just run all 4 Syncopates. So this would be Merfolk / control. I guess we could tweak the creature combination. Other Tishana, if you're Tishana was the mythic back in the original deck. Probably a decent fit because if you have enough creatures, this one refills your hand. We're not exactly accelerating here. Guess it's not too bad. It's also something you can tutor with Forerunner, so a single copy actually fits just fine. I might actually... So what's more important? Our mana base or scrying? Both are kind of important, but actually I might prefer that. So I'll drop the treasure maps, and I will just max out the heralds at 4. Alternately, I take that back. Let's just make sure we have enough counterspells. So now for our sideboard, we have additional creatures. We have a creature in case we run into a even bigger control matchup than we have. I could just easily fill this up with I could switch completely to aggro at this point. But let's see. Well, let's see. Definitely Silent Gravestone on the side. Probably just 2 cards of that then. Oh, I definitely did not want to see that. Hold on. Basically some additional removal of sorts. We could get annoying, just run Icy Manipulator, but 4 mana for that. I would much rather just try to flip the Thaumatic Compass at that point instead. I guess we could just max out the Swift Wardens, because if we're running Thaumatic Compass, they won't be expecting that. Actually, there's another flash creature we could sub in. Well, Capture Sphere is something we could sub in as additional removal, but Dreamcaller Siren's not. Let's try to stick with the Merfolk team for now. I guess we could side in Crafty Cutpurse, but that's only for some particular formats. I guess the basic combo we want is Salvager into River's Rebuke. Oh yeah, we could actually just put in our additional sleep. Well, before we put in the sleep, let's see if there's anything we're missing in Flash. I know. Okay, Sentinel of the Pearl Trident. It's just a 3/3 with Flash. Allows us to okay, that it's only just a 3/3 with Flash. Windstrider might be a better one. It's a 3/3 with Flash and Flying. But we already have enough Flash with Merfolk Trickster and the Swift Warden, so I guess Sleep becomes our additional control element. And this one stays in the sideboard for now. It's about figuring out what's the correct mix for this one. So this copy of Deeproot Waters goes. So we'll analyze this deck, see how it turns out. I'm pretty sure I made a mistake in the mana base. And this one's all theoretical. It's a bit more expensive, so I probably wouldn't put too much. Well, the one advantage is it's mostly blue. Though it makes Swift Warden scary, but if we are that concerned, we could actually just run regular tap lands for some of these. We aren't expecting to cast something on turn. Well, we are expecting to cast this on turn 2, but turn 1 is not crucial here at all. So yeah, that's actually just. Sorry about that. Let's actually do that. Woodland Streams. So about, I think 2 copies should be perfect between this and the Unclaimed Territory. And actually I'll just max the Unclaimed Territory altogether. So we max that out. We have too much green, so that is the one that's getting cut. I'm still not that confident, so maybe just 5 and 8. Also take note, well, actually, it's only these guys that are going to be our green sideboard, so it's not too busted per se. So yeah, this one's more palatable. I could still cut the green even further, and but that said, our key drops are on turn 3, turn 4. If we can try to counter something with syncopate early and sinister sabotage early, we go for it. Then afterwards we start dropping our combos. Basically, we hope our opponent is not that aggressive. Otherwise, we have to start dropping in merfolk, tricksters, and branch walkers in just to catch up. So yeah, that is it for this version of, basically it's control merfolk. This is completely hypothetical. Honestly speaking, with everyone running aggro merfolk very well, that that is probably the way you should go. But at least we can say that this deck is, at least that merfolk is not a one note deck. It's not a one trick pony. That there are other possibilities we could run it into, and maybe you could surprise someone. Who knows? So that's it for this episode of the Magic Arena Run. If you like what you see, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed this theory crafting session. I know people did not really like merfolk. It was really kind of one note. Even in Legacy, people are complaining, oh, it's just big dudes that happen to be very good because Force of Will is on the format and whatnot. But sometimes it's interesting to think outside the box. Even if it doesn't pan out, at least you know you're trying, and at least you know you're doing something about it. So hope you enjoy what you see. Also, I'd like to ask if you guys are interested in anything else. Please do check out my other videos. I know I know it's a bit much to ask. Magic is very different from a lot of these other mainstream games and whatnot, but maybe you might find something that you're interested in. But anyway, that's it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you guys again next time.